Goalies, maybe the most difficult position to play in all of hockey, but here in NHL 25, they are literally Swiss cheese. They barely hit over a .905 save percentage, never tend to simulate well. The scoring engine definitely favors skaters and offensive players in general, so I decided to counteract that by making every single starting goalie a 99 overall here in NHL 25, and we're going to see how that affects the simulation. Maybe goalies go back to being how good they were back in NHL 17, winning Conn Smythe Trophy after Conn Smythe Trophy after even a Hart Trophy. I swear to God, I went back to NHL 17 this summer and I saw a goalie win the Hart Trophy. So let's go ahead and let me show you every single goaltender that I changed and bumped up to a 99 overall. For the Anaheim Ducks, we have John Gibson. He is their starting goalie. Jeremy Swayman, who just got signed for Boston. We got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen for Buffalo. Calgary, it was a tie between Vladar and Wolf. I decided to bump up Dustin Wolf considering he's still very young. 23 years old himself. Freddie Anderson for the Canes. Chicago's got Peter Mrazek. Colorado, Georgiev's finally not a plug. Columbus has Elvis Merzlikins. Jake Ottinger for the Dallas Stars. Detroit will be Ville Husso. Edmonton, the best goalie in the world, and Stuart Skinner. Florida has Bob. The LA Kings got Darcy Kemper over the offseason. Marc-Andre Fleury is back. Well, better than he was in his prime, honestly. Montebo for Montreal. Nashville has UC Saros. The Devils with their new goaltender and Jacob Markstrom. We got Sorokin for the Islanders. The Rangers obviously have Shesty. Ottawa, their newest goalie, and Linus Ullmark. Maybe they can finally make the postseason. Samuel Ersson for the Philadelphia Flyers. Maybe the worst starting goalie in the entire league. We got Tristan Jarry for the Pens. San Jose has Mackenzie Blackwood. Seattle, Joey Decourt. St. Louis, Jordan Binnington. Whatever happened to that guy? Andre Vasilevsky for Tampa, obviously. We got Stolars for the Toronto Maple Leafs because Joseph Woll cannot stay healthy, and he's also a bum. Utah has Connor Ingram. Vancouver has Thatcher Demko. Vegas will have Aiden Hill, and Washington, Charlie Lindgren, my bad. And last but definitely not least, the reigning Vezina winner in Connor Hellebuck for the Winnipeg Jets. So now every single team should have a fair ground, at least goaltending wise, all of them being 99 overall. It's time to see who dominates this simulation. I think for what I'm going to do with my roster that I am creating with the PHL and adjusting all the NHL ratings, I'm going to bump up goalies. So like the best goalie will be like a 97 overall to try to counteract the fact that skaters, I mean, they have never simulated this well. I see at Sim Engine scoring medium people putting up like 130, 140 points. Seeing Kirill Kaprizov literally be over goal per game. So we got to balance that out somehow and make goalies a tad bit better. Now, at the end of the first season, surprisingly, Winnipeg, the best team in the NHL, they already had a 93 Hellebuck, but now they get a 99, 52 wins on the season. Colorado was good. We have the Vancouver Canucks, Dallas, Los Angeles, and the New York Rangers at the bottom. Utah, sadly, even with the best goaltender at the highest rating possible, they're only going to pick up 31 victories on the season. There we go. The scoring is a little bit lower. We have Nikita Kucherov having the most points at 97. McKinnon had 92. Jason Robertson, 85. Braden Point was up there. JT Miller. If we take a look at the goal side here, Kuch also had the most goals at 47, followed by passes, 40. Kaprizov and Kyle Connor both had 40. So yeah, upgrading the goalies definitely do affect the simulation. I mean, thanks, Captain Obvious. How fucking clueless could you be? And now it's time to take a look at the goaltenders. We got Hellebuck with the most wins at 44, a three-way tie between him, Ottinger, and Demko, and the most shutouts in the NHL will also go to Jake Ottinger. He had 8 on the season. Igor had 7, Ingram 7, Freddie Anderson 6, and who had the best save percentage? It would be Samuel Montebo. Played 67 games and he rocked a 927. Freddie Anderson had a 925. Luukkonen 925. Decourt was good. I mean, Joey Decourt, dear God, he played 71 games. Second most, only behind Charlie Lindgren, who played 72. And now here is our year number 1 Stanley Cup playoff bracket. Death, taxes, and the Oilers beating the Kings in round number 1. And now in the finals, we have the Colorado Avalanche up against Montreal, a best of 7 with 2 99 overall goaltenders. Let's see what will happen. All right, here we go. Game number 1, Stanley Cup Finals. Let's see what will happen. We got Montreal having a 3-2 lead heading into the third period here. We're going to go game-by-game basis just so we get a full landscape of what is happening. I am expecting the scoring, at least in these simulations, to be a little bit lower. Not 7-6 score, but maybe like a 4-3 finish. As Montreal, will they pull off the upset over the Avs here? In game number 1, they will a 4-2 victory and take a 1-0 series lead. Let's see if the Avs have some sort of not a comeback, but an answer here, as they are leading 3-2 heading into the third of game number 2. So pretty similar score to game 1. Very low scoring here in the third period. We got 10 minutes remaining still. Oh, there we go. Cole Caulfield will tie the game up at 3 apiece. As the Montreal Canadiens, the underdog story. Back in 21, they couldn't get the job done, but now here in season number 1, we are going to have overtime. Here we go. First overtime of the Stanley Cup Finals, all knotted up at 3 apiece. Who is going to take home the game winner? Shots are 43-36, so a lot of shots are getting on net. I know we are in the 4th period, and there it is. The Colorado Avalanche former cover athlete and Cale Makar will score a power play goal, and Colorado has tied the series up at 1 apiece. A pivotal game number 3 here in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we got a low-scoring affair. A 1-0 lead for the Colorado Avalanche. 2-0 as the dog Nathan MacKinnon will give Colorado an insurance marker, and there it is. Jonathan Drouin will score. And I gotta be honest, with a 99 between the pipes, it's gonna be tough for Montreal to come back here. That is pretty much all she wrote. A 3-1 victory for Colorado. Colorado has an opportunity here, up 4-1 heading into the third to take a 3-1 series lead. 5-1. Oh my God. Well, I guess Samuel Montembeault's luck has finally run out. Even at a 99 overall, this guy is getting lit up like a Christmas tree. The Stanley Cup is in the building here in Colorado, as they are leading 2-1 in the third period, up 3-1 in the series, obviously, and they have an opportunity to win the Stanley Cup tonight and really not prove anybody wrong. Casey Middlestat, insurance marker. It's a 3-1, 3-2 lead. There it is. Cole Caulfield will get Montreal back to within 1. We get a close, tight fair. All right, I decided to hop into the game here in the third period. Oh no, why do I have the broadcast angle? Why did I have the overhead angle is what I meant to say. Middlestat coming in, nice shot on net, but Montembeault, who's been Swiss cheese for a little bit now in the Cup Finals, makes the save. And here we go, Savard chugging along up the ice very slowly as well, as he's really not going to get any offense there. I am going to make sure... Actually, no, I'm not going to touch the strategies whatsoever. Whatever happens, happens. I don't really care who wins. Valerie coming in. Hookers and blow. He's cutting, shooting, rebound, and there it is. Nathan MacKinnon on the back step will put the puck in the back of the net and give the Colorado Avalanche a 2-goal lead. His 15th of the playoff run. Lock that Conn Smythe trophy up right now for the dog, as he has been producing all postseason long. Bang. I mean, nothing Montembeault really could do there. What is the defender doing there? Dennis Savard? Who is the Savard guy? Number 58 is just planted in front of Montembeault, not doing a goddamn thing. And that does not at all look like Marty St. Louis. Last time I checked, he was not bald, and I don't think he was Asian either. So, Marty, what's up, buddy? Are you mad over that? I know, EA Sports cannot have actual coaches in the game. I don't believe they have the licensing, although they are employed by the NHL, so it should be the same as players, no? I know 2K does have accurate coaches in the NBA, so maybe NHL can get around to that very shortly, as Montembeault will cover that up. 57 seconds remain as the Colorado Avalanche trying to lock up their second cup in like 3 seasons now with a 99 Georgiev. I mean, you put the best goaltender on that Colorado team, they probably never lose. Makar in the middle, and an absolute rip. Top shelf where grandma hides the cookies. And Cale Makar is just feasting right now. 6 goals of the postseason so far. 6th goal as the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, this one's locked up already. I can't lie. This has been the longest, like 40 seconds of my life right now. 17.9 seconds remaining. Funny enough, that is how long I last in bed. And in year number 1, the Avalanche will go all the way, dominating Montreal in 5 games. Another instance where Montreal gets to the finals and then completely just gets run over by this stacked Avs squad. Now with a 99 overall Alexander Georgiev. And I mean, maybe that's all they need right now. Goaltending in the postseason last year was pretty tough. Georgiev, I mean, that dude could not save a beach ball. Nathan MacKinnon will go ahead and take home the Conn Smythe trophy, as I predicted. 15 goals, 27 points. That dude was an monster. Since we are in October, what would be the equivalent to Nathan MacKinnon in a Halloween movie? Would it be Michael Myers, maybe Jason, Freddy Krueger. I mean, who would be a distinct comparable to the dog that is McKinnon? I gotta be honest, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just going on rambling. But here is Gabriel Landeskog. Came back this season. Will raise the Stanley Cup yet again for the second time in his career, as the Avs have gone all the way in season number 1. And hopefully Valerie does not invite any pretty ladies back to the hotel room. Obviously, Nathan McKinnon tore up in the postseason, as he did have the most goals and points in the league, 15 and 27. Nick Suzuki had a good playoff run at 23. Cole Caulfield had 21. Mikko Rantanen was up there. Jonathan Drouin, stuttering is not on my side today. He had a great playoff run too, playing alongside a dog. I mean, they have history back in Halifax. 7 goals and 19 points for him. Nikita Kucherov is the best player in the world at the moment. We got Cale Makar winning the Norris, the Conn Smythe to McKinnon, Celebrini the Calder, Joey Daccord will take home the Vezina out of all the goaltenders, and we got Anze Kopitar winning the Selke. Moving on to season number 2, we got the Nashville Predators finishing as the best team with 53 wins, followed by Winnipeg. Utah was up there after being the worst team last season. That is how random this simulation is. We got the defending champs in Colorado and Carolina, and at the bottom, the Calgary Flames and the Florida Panthers. I mean, a 99 overall Bobrovsky. I know they lost some key pieces in the offseason, but still, I figured they would do better than this. Nikita Kucherov yet again will have the most points in the league, and nobody even is cracking over 100 points. We got 97 last year, I believe 95 this year, and for goals, Auston Matthews will be the lone 50-goal scorer, followed by Kuch's 49. Kaprizov had a good season, passed to 40. Draisaitl and Bedard both had 40. Also, on the point side, I mean, Nylander was decent. Breadman, it's the usual players up here, but the scoring definitely has taken a little bit of a hit, and that is due to these monsters. UC Saros, who had the most wins at 44. Hellebuck, 43. Ingram, 41, after Utah had a great season. And we got a 4-way tie for shutouts between Kemper, Daccord, Binnington, and Vasi, as they all had 8 shutouts apiece. Save percentage, who had the best here? It was Hellebuck with a 926, so nobody has cracked a 930. I mean, technically, these two guys have, but they're only playing like 20 games a season, so I'm not counting them. And then we move on to year number 2, where we have our Stanley Cup playoff bracket. Welcome, Utah. This is the postseason. Don't ask Toronto for any advice. They don't know what they're doing. Instead, come to the Edmonton Oilers, who know all about it, baby. And our finals matchup are set. We got the Vancouver Canucks and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So 2 teams who have historically not been great in the postseason are now meeting in the Stanley Cup Finals. And one of these teams, for the first time ever, will win a 4th round of a playoff series. Because the last time Toronto won the Cup, there was literally, what, like 2 rounds, 6 teams in the league? It was 1967 was a long-ass time ago. You know what? Screw it. I will give the Toronto Maple Frauds some good luck here. I will take control of their team while I'm simulating. Maybe that gives them a little bit of an edge, or maybe it does the opposite, but we'll see. Number 1, here we go. Stanley Cup Finals matchups are set. We got Toronto, Vancouver, 2-1 lead in the third period. Let's see if the Nucks can hold on to this, and they will not. John Tavares, the former captain, will tie the game up at 2 apiece here in the third period. I mean, a very low scoring affair, very tight game so far, and Brock Besser on Anthony Stolarz will give Vancouver the lead, and they will hold on to win game 1 here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Back in 2011, I was going to say 2011, that doesn't make any sense. Back in 2011, they actually had a 2-0 series lead over Boston, but thanks to the Sedin sisters, they blew that shit very quickly. So I guess we'll see if Vancouver repeats of 2011, takes a 2-0 series lead, and then literally falls apart. But that's no here, no there. We're focused on this series, as Teddy Bluger will open the scoring. A 1-0 lead. Nick Robertson ties it up pretty quickly there. 10 minutes remaining in this third period. Are we going to have overtime for the first time, or no? What are we doing here, EA? Come on, we got a low-scoring affair here in Toronto. The Air Canada Centre is not rocking. We got all the suits in the building for the Cup. Can you imagine the prices, the ticket prices for a Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup Final game? That would literally be insane. Nobody would be able to afford it. It would be all suits in the crowd, and that energy would be non-visible. As we are almost done overtime period number 1, and we still don't have a score. We move on to double overtime. Nobody has found the back of the net, and never mind Jake McCabe on Thatcher Demko, and we have a tie series. We're in a very pivotal game number 3. Who will take the lead in the series? Vancouver has a 2-0 lead here in the third period over Toronto as they are shutting them out. I made sure to scream that very loud so we could break the shutout curse here, but I don't think it's going to happen as Vancouver will shut out the Toronto Maple Leafs and take a 2-1 series lead. Let's see if Toronto can tie the series up, or is Vancouver going to take a 3-1 lead? It doesn't look so. I mean, 4-3 game. This is definitely the highest scoring game so far this series. We got DeBrusk tying it up for Vancouver, and JT Miller will take the lead as Anthony Stolarz is turning into Joseph Wall literally right before our eyes here. 5 minutes remaining. Can Toronto tie this game up? They gotta. They cannot fall down 3-1. That is all she wrote. That is all she wrote. Vancouver now has the opportunity to win the Stanley Cup for the very first time in their entire franchise's history. Vancouver does have the opportunity to do something they have never done in their franchise's history, and that is win a Stanley Cup. They're down 3-1 here in the third period to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's see if Toronto can force a Game 6, or will the Stanley Cup be raised? There it is. Connor Garland gets Vancouver back to within 1. It's a series, or it's a game now, I should say. Power play for Vancouver. They don't score, though. They don't capitalize. And the Toronto Maple Leafs will live to fight another day. I'm not going to lie, Toronto does have like the funniest chance to do something here, but I don't think it's going to happen. 4-0 here in the third period. Vancouver is putting on a clinic, and they do not want to blow a 3-1 series lead in the finals and get made fun of on YouTube. And that is all she wrote. The Vancouver Canucks, for the first time ever, will be crowned Stanley Cup champions here in the NHL. They finally slayed their demons. Damn near blew a 3-1 series lead in the finals, but we're not going to talk about that. They won. That's all that matters. As Toronto, the curse lives on, man. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on for, but the Toronto Maple Leafs just cannot get back to winning a Stanley Cup. Quinn Hughes is your Conn Smythe winner, as he would put up 6 goals and 27 points. A very respective Conn Smythe campaign, especially as a defenseman. And there's the prize possession, the Stanley Cup, about to be raised to Vancouver here in Rogers Arena, I believe is the name of the arena, if I'm not mistaken. Why do they have green steps? That looks a little bit weird. Vancouver, you guys have a pretty good team. Your fan base is not that great, but I'm going to ignore that. We got Quinn Hughes taking home Lord Stanley for the first time in his career, as Vancouver no longer are a cupless franchise. Very impressive at the fact that Quinn Hughes led the entire postseason in scoring, 27 points. Matthews had 24, also 11 goals. Mitch Marner, 24. JT Miller was up there, as well as Elias Pettersson, who only had 4 goals, but 16 apples for 20 points in 25 games. Let me take a look at Thatcher Demko here. 16, 6, and 3, had 2 shutouts, a 927. Dear God, Stolarz, he rocked a 940 save percentage, and that definitely went down because of the Stanley Cup Finals. So who knows what this guy was doing in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. This is the sole reason why Toronto made it this far. McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross to Kucherov. Matthews the Maurice Richard. Rasmus Dahlin will win the Norris. We got Quinn Hughes taking home the Conn Smythe. Hellebuck the Vezina, and the Selke to JT Miller. All right, so a pretty good sim so far. We got one final season to see who will go on and win the Cup. The Avs in year number 1, Vancouver in year 2. I want to see a brand new team take it home in the third and final season. The Rags with Igor Shesterkin will be the best team this season, 53 wins. So the NHL has been more balanced as well. I don't think anybody's had more than a 53-win season in the NHL in this entire video. The Tampa Bay Lightning were very good. Florida was up there, Carolina, Toronto, and Chicago. And at the bottom, we have the Calgary Flames yet again. Any other teams? Montreal, wow, after making the finals like 2 years ago, they are seriously down bad. The Rat, Brad Marchand, will have the most points at 97. So we are not going to have a single 100-point score this entire video. Artemi Panarin had 94, passed to 93, and for goals, Matthews will be again the sole 50-goal scorer. He had 51 tucks, passed at 47. Artemi Panarin, 39. McKinnon was pretty good for the goaltenders. Igor Shesterkin had the most wins at 45. The most shutouts. We go to Merz Linkins, who put up 9 as well as a 923 save percentage. He might win the Vezina. I know his record isn't great, but his numbers are out of this world. And here is our third and final playoff bracket of the video. Let's see who goes on and makes the Stanley Cup Finals. And in the Cup Finals, we have the St. Louis Blues up against the Buffalo Sabres. I gotta be honest, this is the most random Stanley Cup Finals I have ever seen in my life, but we're gonna go through with it. We got St. Louis, who won back in 19. Buffalo, I mean, they haven't made the playoffs in like 13 years in real life. Buffalo, I mean, historically, I don't believe they have a Stanley Cup to their entire franchise history, and they're going to lose game 1 4-1 to St. Louis. Dylan Holloway will get the lone goal on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the third period. Will the Sabres retaliate and tie the series up, or will St. Louis, we get a tie game in the third, and St. Louis takes it in overtime. Justin Folk on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, overtime winner in a 2-0 series lead. This is literally a must-win for Buffalo. They lose this, they pretty much lose the series, and they're going to take home a 1-0 victory to get their first win in the Stanley Cup Finals. They had to put on 41 shots on goal just to get one. Is crazy. Will Buffalo tie the series up here? Another high-scoring affair. Why am I saying another? 4-2 victory. We have ourselves a series. JJ Peterka and Pavel Buchnevich in the third period, but it does not matter. St. Louis, you guys are choking right now? Question mark. I mean, goddamn, you're playing the Buffalo Sabres. Blow them out already. A very pivotal game number 5 here in the Cup Finals, and the St. Louis Blues will shut out Buffalo 2-0 and now have the opportunity to win their second Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley is in the building, 3-0 after 1 and a 4-2 lead after 2. Let's see if Buffalo has anything left in the tank to come back and try to force a Game 7, or will St. Louis win their second Stanley Cup, as 2019, honestly, wasn't that long ago. 5-2 lead. Buffalo, things are not looking too great right now. And somehow the mid-St. Louis Blues are Stanley Cup champions yet again. They were mid before that. I'm not going to lie. They were actually a pretty good playoff team before they won the Stanley Cup. And again, we got this glitch still in the game. I believe there's been 2 patches now to NHL, but they have not fixed this for some odd reason, as the St. Louis Blues will beat Buffalo in 6 games, and they're going to raise the Stanley Cup also in Buffalo, where in real life, there's no way there would be a packed house. Oh, actually, yeah, if they were in the Cup Finals, there probably would be, but we know that is not a possibility, as Jordan Kyrou is going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. He had 6 goals, 20 apples for 26 points. And I mean, that's a very good playoff run by Jordan. It was Mr. Tim Hortons himself, Ryan O'Reilly, who won it for the first time with St. Louis. He was electric. Although Jordan Binnington might have should have got that trophy. I don't know. It was pretty close between the two. Ryan O'Reilly, and I guess his defensive prowess led him to win that trophy. As here comes Braden Shen, the newly minted captain. Not too long ago, I believe, of St. Louis. He'll be able to raise the cup. He was there for the first run. And now round number 2. Here in the year 2027, I believe we're in. I don't even know where we're at. But St. Louis with a 99 binner will take home Lord Stanley. Kyrou would have the most points in the playoffs at 26. Buchnevich had 23, Robert Thomas 20, and Matthew Joseph had 20. So the St. Louis Blues offensively were very, very good. And if we take a look at Jordan Binnington, 16-9-0, 2 shutouts, and he had a 931. Artemi Panarin will take home the Ted Lindsay. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy will go to Brad Marchand. The Norris to Evan Bouchard. Kyrou, the Conn Smythe. Vasi will take home the Vezina, and JT Miller the Selke. Well, that is going to do it for this video. I went ahead and made every starting goalie a 99 overall, and I mean, we saw different results. We saw Colorado go on. That was probably the easiest pick of the video. Vancouver won their first ever cup, and the St. Louis Blues, I do not see them winning many Stanley Cups in these simulations, so hats off to them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Do I look nervous?